one of the hardest conversations to have is being single and without a child in 30s, especially for us women and in the African society, according to societal expectations. And having this conversation as a person who is single and without a child at 31 years is quite triggering to many, because it leaves the question, are you okay? How did you learn through that decision of being single and maybe child-free or childless? Is there hope? Are you worried that you're getting old? The more you're getting old, you might never get married and you might never have a child because there is menopause. So many things. So I decided to invite one of the persons that I find so fascinating and as opinionated as me, and to have this conversation with. And also we are in the same age bracket and same status, single, I'm guessing, upon in a guess, but she's not married officially. So she's not married and she's childless. Or child-free. I'll let her introduce herself as she tell us her names, what she does for work, and are you married, and or are you uliamua hautaiolewa, and also are you child-free or childless?
Okay. My fabulous name. Anyway, my fabulous name is Olive Orao. I am now an emotional intelligence coach and a digital creator. Basically, emotional intelligence is just trying to help people navigate different situations in life and different relationships. People don't know how sometimes to deal with their irate managers. Sometimes you don't know how to deal with maybe a friendship that's fading away. So I'm helping people like get through those particular situations in life. So basically it's just psycho support alongside content creation. Maybe people know me for content creation a lot. I cook very weird things.
Very, very, very weird.
I'm always coming for Luo men. I mean, I love them. They're my brothers.
But you need to set them straight.
Well, yes, we need to call out what we need to call out. Yeah, so I'm a content creator, a podcaster as well of the In All Honesty podcast. And right now I can also say I have written books as well. I've written 2 books.
You have?
Yes, they are audio books.
Oh,
yes.
Where can people find them?
On byolive.com. Byolive.com, you'll find both. The self-help book is Can I Unsubscribe by Olive Orao. And there's another based on true stories, short stories, and that is Do Adia. Karibu niende Do Adia, The Days of Adia. That's the second book. So I've been doing a lot. I am very single. I am so single it hurts. I am very single and also child-free by choice. Yeah.
Wow. And I think one of the questions that I feel like when we're talking about child-free and childless, most people don't know the difference. Yeah. Could you please walk us through the difference of child-free and childless?
Child-free is you've chosen to not have children. I didn't know the difference also, because me, I used to say I'm childless, but then I learned that now people are differentiating. Childless is for people who cannot have children. Maybe your barren is a bad word. What's that called? That other word where you can't have children. Conceive. Yeah, you're not able to conceive. That's when we say you are childless. But maybe you have the desire to have a child. And maybe also for people who are not sure, maybe they can say they are childless. I do not know, or the ones who are planning to have but are not yet there yet, maybe they can say they're childless, but I know child-free is for those who don't want. They are sure they don't want.
Ever.
Yes.
So, Olive, uliamuanga aje hautaki watoto, wewe hutaki kuchange diapers, hautaki mambo ya sleepless nights, because I see those are the things that most women wakiwa na watoto they go through.
Yes.
And kuna kitu ilifanyika maybe in the past that made you like, hey, mimi hii si sahani yangu, this is not my portion, I don't want it. So how did you come to that conclusion?
First, I want to know if you are child-free. Do you know if you're child-free?
Oh, sorry guys, by the way. Okay. Oh, how did I? Thank you so much.
Because my answer would be based on maybe if you understand a few
where
things.
You're coming from.
Yeah.
So for Mimi, for the longest time, with my background being an orphan and not being raised around baba, mama, watoto, sijaiona hiyo setup actively. Nimeishi kutamani sana kuolewa kwanza and then nipate mtoto so that we can be like a complete family. I guess society imetufunza ati complete family ni baba, mama na mtoto. Yes. You alone, you're not a complete family. So and that's why I've made so many mistakes in my past relationships because I was so fixated kwa hiyo nataka bwana, nataka alafu bwana, alafu watoto. Nilikuwa nataka relationships ziwork. But as I age and with the experiences na mambo naona kwa mtandao ya families and parenthood, I don't know if I want a child or not, but coil yangu in expire this year. I've had a coil for 10 years. No, IUD.
Oh, okay.
The nano-hormonal one. Yeah. I've had it. This is the 10th year. It expires this year. Hata venye this year started in January, I did a video, a reel, and I said, this is the year that I'll truly know if I ever want a child ama I'm child free.
Okay.
Iki expire sometime ya kuitoa, that's when nita decide kama nitaika another one ama nita. People nowadays wanatoa nini? What is it called? Unatoa.
Yeah, tubal ligation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yani
this is the year I'll make the decision. But you know what? I'm 70% load child free. Cause kuna so I'm childless. I'm not yet fully child free. I'm 70%.
Okay.
There are a few things I need to come to terms with before I make a full 100% decision.
Okay.
But pia niko single. Olive.
See ni life. Imagine ni life.
I'm so single, guys. Ni chokozeri, please. But
Thank you. Thank you for that note. But yes, now you've made a very good point that gives me an exact contrast. You never saw a good, like what we call a perfect family setup. Me, that's what I had. I had the perfect family setup. My dad is the best dad in the whole wide world.
Wow, and must be nice.
It is so nice. It is so nice.
It is wow.
It is so nice. So me in my, let's say in my early 20s, before I knew I am child free, I used to think I won't settle for a man who's not as good as my dad. So that's
You're
why
looking for your dad.
Yes, that's why I kept postponing.
Okay.
At the time I didn't know I'm child free. I was also where you are, where I'm like, I want money, stability, ndio nipate mtoto, and I also want someone like my dad, someone who's available. My dad is everything. He helps with homework, he provides, he's been there. He used to dress us up, wash us.
Wow.
My dad is everything. He's those men that I see you are looking for on TikTok.
He's that.
Yeah, so me, I wanted that and I couldn't find it in my early 20s when I was dating. I couldn't find men who'd match up. Well, looking back now, I think it's unfair because I don't know what my dad was like at 20. So looking for a 50-year-old man in a 20-year-old can be unfair. But at the time I didn't know. Labda nilikuwa natafuta tu qualities za babangu, mtu amenyamaza, mtu anakuaga na solution. Sasa tutafika kwa babangu mwambie nimejaribu kuingia kwa mlango imekataa, aulize okay, let's look at the options, tutabomoa mlango ama tutakata kifungu, very quick. I wanted that, and while I continued to date I didn't find it. And then I think at 27 is when it hit me ya ukweli. But only wataka unasema ati unatafuta tu mtu kama babako. In real sense, you've never had that feeling. When people say I'm on mtoto and I feel my ovaries are twerking, that's a feeling I have never experienced.
I also can't relate. I always wonder, what is that feeling people feel?
Yes, your baby fever. Baby fever at 23 years old.
Unaenda increasing percentage yangu ya child free, but they have never felt that too. I wonder what it is that they feel.
I didn't have it. 23 kapita, 26 there was also a baby fever. It was going round ilinipita.
Wow.
I got to 27 is when I was like, wait a minute. I think 27 is when I accepted it because I said it out loud. Before I had never said it. Nile tu how the like are you even allowed
it's a battle
to not
in your
want
mind.
children?
Yeah.
Are you even allowed to? How can you dare say? And at that time, I even remember telling my mom, mi sioni hata nikipata mtoto, ile tu jokes, we were laughing over something, and she was like, me, I want grandchildren. And I told her, so you have grandchildren? And she was like, I need one from each.
Oh.
So nikamuuliza, kwani unataka kudistribute risk? Si uko na enough huku, wao washakupea. But I think I didn't know what it was until I got to 27 when I started looking back at my life, and it was after a breakup. By the breakup usaidia watu kwa hii dunia. Breakup is when you now reanalyze your life.
Zingine zinaingianga na zina stick.
Yes.
Unajua, hapa hii class nimegraduate sirudi tena.
I'll not be back.
Yeah.
So after the breakup is when I looked, because I also nimeongea sana. The breakup, it was funny. The man broke up with me because he made another girl pregnant and went ahead and settled with that girl.
What?
And so while I was dealing with the breakup, because he was one of the men, the only men who now my family knew, we even stayed together. Yeah. So when people were coming at me, it was just like, Olive, you can't keep a family. We know you can't keep a man. But no one ever asked me my side of the story.
Yeah.
So nilikuwa tu nimekaa and I'm like, okay, I'm going to hold on to this. Mumeamua ni mimi. Sawa ni mimi.
And why would you tell them the truth?
I hate fighting for myself. That's why I like living alone. I hate fighting for my side, to tell my side of the story. Hiyo kitu ulisikia ni sawa, ni ukweli.
Or you should be inviting, like, Ole, what happened?
Yes. If you didn't hold out space for me to begin with, to give you my side of the story, I'm not about to fight to give it to you.
Yeah.
So me nilisettle too. And then after a while I was talking to my friends, every time I would tell that guy while we were dating, I would tell him, me, I don't want children. And he would keep saying, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Every time.
Afaka cross the bridge alone.
Bridge aliona haifiki. So it's my friend who told me, do you know maybe
bridge yako kwingine ilifika haraka.
Huko ilifika haraka. Akasema acha tutumie huko. So it's my friend who actually told me, maybe he thought you'd change your mind, and when he realized things are progressing and you're not changing your mind, that's where the problem came in. So I think at 27, after the breakup, reanalyzing my life, I looked back and I'm like, by the way, ujaitaka mtoto, even this person who was very serious, who was someone you'd have been with, still you were not willing to compromise on kids, you get. So that's when it hit me. Oh, by the way, we utaki tu watoto, what are jokes. And looking back, I'm like, I've never had your desire. Me, when I look at kids, they're just cute. They're like dogs or cats. They're just cute. Ni hivyo, tosha.
So umeambia mom dogs na cat moms wako sawa na plant moms.
They are very okay.
I'm almost becoming a plant mom. Yeah. I'm thinking of getting a live plant. And I've never, like, as an adult, I've never, like, taken care of something to a point that naogopa isikufe. A pet, I've never had a pet. I've never had a plant. Ndo juzi nilikuwa jiambia kwa balkoni yangu, I think nafani to dania, to carrot, kakitu tu grow nika take care of. Afu sasa maybe umeona the fruit of your labor, you're like, I did this. Anyway, but let me ask you, Olive, do you think that there would come a time that you might change your mind about being child free?
That is something people ask a lot, but sahi imefika point where I say, of course we'll change our minds, which only a fool doesn't, right? But your time nita change mind, Lydia. I'll look for whatever alternatives I have to have a child.
True.
Why am I behaving like everything is set on stone?
No, it's
if
not.
I want to be able to carry it, I'm working hard. Sinta afford surrogate.
Exactly. There's so many options.
Adoption.
Yeah.
Why am I going to commit myself to something that is lifelong? Because I don't know what will come.
In 5 years, in 10 years.
Nikifika 40 niseme nataka mtoto. Lydia nitapata mtoto nikiwa 40.
You will actually. Adoption, surrogacy ziko. And I feel like people don't talk about the advantages of being child-free or childless, actually. Especially at our age. You're 32, I'm 31, right?
Yes.
I feel like watu wenye waliza mapema, sometimes they admire our life. Cause kwanza sasa hivi economy ni mbaya. and alafu makazi jobs are not like that stable. The incomes are not that stable. Na feel like there's just a freedom that comes with being childless and child free. And especially mimi kwangu right now, I keep telling people, number one, I washed utensils so much, cooked, washed the house, looked after everyone else. At my adult age where I can earn money and pay people to do these things for me, mimi sitaki kufanya kazi za nyumba. And because again, being a parent or a mom comes with you being present in household. Vyombo za mtoto zilioshwa, nyumba imesanitizewa vizuri, uniform ya kesho, homework ilifanywa. I don't think I have that capacity, and that's why I'm saying I'm 70% loading kukua child free. I don't think niko na hiyo capacity ya kukua a present mother. Let me just say mother. I feel like I would let down my child because I would do it out of you should instead of I enjoy. I enjoy doing with my homework with my child. I enjoy knowing how their uniform is, how are they, who is their friend. And me sidhani niko na hiyo capacity. I just want to come back to my house, kila kitu imenyamaza, hadi TV na kaa chini na simu yangu na TikTok. That's it. But maybe take us through, what do you think advantages zenye watu wapendangi kuongea ama we shy away from saying we have za kukua child free na childless at this age of 31, whereas most of our peers are moms or parents. What are the advantages that you have against them?
Kwanza, you've said, and that is something people don't recognize. You see, you did everything. People don't recognize that we've been parents. Me, even coming from the perfect home, I was still a parentified child. You look School after them. Nimelipa, diapers nimechange, nimeenda PTA meetings, hakuna kitu mzazi hajafanya enye mimi sijafanya. So I don't know why
so
people
you have been a parent.
I have been a parent.
Ni ile tu nacho biography au jaza.
Ni vile tu sijaza wangu. Okay. But I have been a parent. I have done everything a parent is supposed to have done for their children. So it got to a point where I was like, see me even now I become the child I wasn't. Watu walikuwa watoto, mi nikifua socks, nikipika uji, nikifanya nini,
tables have time.
My friend.
It's your time to be a child.
The people I was taking care of now have children to take care of. Now let me rest, let me be the child I wasn't. And advantages ni vile tu umesema, hata hii leo hapa. Lydia nimekwambia I slept at 3. I've woken up at 7. Nimefika hii set. Dakika moja tu unaamka uoge nini you leave the house.
Stress.
No stress. You
na ujapigiwa simu na mtu ukiambiwa mtoto shule sijui basi limuacha. Sijui vitabix iliisha. Sijui
na chakula imagine you never even think about budgeting for things. Because you know, when I left home, I had this idea of because we came from our family was really huge, so tulikuwa tuna shop vitu. You shop in bulk. So mkienda soko una shop in bulk, mnaeka nile familia ya kuchemusha maragwe mingi mnaeka hivyo. So your culture I brought it to my house, and after a while I realized olive unaishi peke yako. Chukua 2 kg rice, ikiisha unaenda unanunua 2 kg rice.
Mchele vikombe mbili, moja ni 70 bob. So chukue tu imechemshwa.
Ikiisha unaendea tissue nyingine. Mbona unataka kujaza, you are bulking up things in the house. So there's that advantage that we don't even see, where you literally don't have to think about someone else. Hakuna collateral damage. And I don't know if I can mention an episode from my podcast.
Yes, you can.
So there's a podcast, there's an episode that I named When Mother Left. This was for the people who their mothers died when they were young. And when they came on, all of them, 2 of them were mothers. And they said, actually, when they had their children, they planned, because their mothers died at 39 and 40, they planned that they have their children at a particular time, so that in case wakufe by 30, 40, their children are of age
to take care of
themselves. Wasizungushwe kwa relatives wakiteswa.
Okay, the traumas, orphans we
go
through. So
when you say the capacity, do you have the capacity to know, do you have the capacity for your kids to be secure after you've left? It's not only the baby daddy. Where to seme sayi ukufe? What happens to your child? Do we think about the children? There are me I feel like the advantage to it is hata saidi kitu inifanyikie hakuna collateral damage, hakuna mtu mwingine ataumia.
People will mourn you like your parents and your siblings and your friends, your loved ones.
Yeah.
But hakuna mtu mwenye your collateral damage, hakuna mtu mwenye ata feel like
hakuna mtu ita affect at is
absence is a total difference in my life. And watu wataki kuadmit yo.
Yeah.
But I also feel like especially from 2023 venye tulianzanga that's when I think Childfree and Childless topic became ilianza kutanda sana kwa mtandao.
We were a bit confident then.
We started being confident about speaking it out and saying, no, you know what, mimi sitaki mtoto, mimi sitaki kuolewa. But I feel like the society has not accepted it and it feels so unnatural. Like, wewe mwanamuke kazi yako ni nini? So have you faced times that umeambia mtu mimi sitaki mambo ya mtoto and they are like, why? Ni nini umekosa?
Are you mad?
Alafu nani atakuchunga ukiwa mzee? Because for me, I have faced it, especially with my sister. And I keep asking her, now that you have 4 kids, and 80% of their financial responsibilities, I'm the one who take care of. No pun intended.
Yeah.
How does it help you? Because you are stressed 24 hours. Because I feel like za zingine Olive, I think tunafaa to turn the question from watu wenye wameamua kukua child free waache kuulizwa why they don't want children, and rather we start asking wenye wanataka watoto na wenye wamezaa, why did you decide to have a child? Why do you want to have a child? Because kuna ile issues zenye kama sasa hivi story ya traumas, childhood traumas, dysfunctional families, marriages, co-parenting, divorce, separation, baba ni gambler, ni mkonywaji, ni violent, mom is jobless, hawezi hata separate with the dad because she can't provide. And also za zingine mume separate but they're living hands to mouth. Mtu hata haizi kula like a proper meal, ugali kanyama, mboga ka avocado, hata tena kama maziwa hapo kando, tena ka fruit
ajispoil.
Yani nyinyi mwezi tu amua like there is no limit to what you can eat because it's there, because financially you can't afford it. But you find that those same people, they're the ones who are having 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, and you're wondering, why are you having these so many kids? But they're always stuck on us when you go childless at 31 and the child free at 31, like mnataki mtoto. And apart from it being like projection of insecurities, because watu wanapenda kusafa wakiwa wengi. When you are suffering in exactly, that is the word, that is the sentence I was looking for. Misery loves company. So, but whereas that's true, I also feel like why are women having so many children in this economy? And apart from that, why I don't think we ask enough, mbona unataka mtoto? Mbona uliamua kupata huyu mtoto? Do you think that is something that we should ask more often? And do you think we should sway away from kuuliza mbona unataka watoto na mbona wewe umezaa? There is repercussions.
Me actually, I don't take offense to people asking. I've seen a lot of child-free people who are very triggered by the question, why don't you have children? It doesn't trigger me because I feel like I'm also a very inquisitive person. So if I see someone making a particular decision, I just like to know what was the thought process behind it. Si kwa ubaya, nataka tu kujua.
You just want to know how did you come to this?
Ni kama umbea. Umbea saa zingine ikusaidiangi, lakini nataka tu kujua. So I don't get triggered by it. But vile umesema tunafaa kuuliza watu mbona wanapata watoto. I genuinely feel like having children is now like it's like a cult. You don't know why you are doing it. You are just doing it.
But and no one can for a few months and a lady is pregnant.
You can't explain it.
For a few months, musha divorce, musha separate, musha break up. Now single motherhood inaingilia.
And then is it trend za TikTok? Oh, the useless thing I gave my child. The bar was so low. unajua these things have made me believe in witchcraft, because there's no way else to explain why you're doing the things you are doing.
Actually the question is I was going through those challenges na nikajiuliza aje, yani unaona mwanaume I'm so sorry to say this, unaona mtu amesema the useless thing I got my child, alafu unaona picha ya huyo baba ya mtoto, unajiuliza kwani kitambo ulikuwa chokora? Where did world zenyu zili collide wewe aje ukakutana na huyu mtu na ukaamua mnazaa? Cause I wouldn't, unaona watu unaendeka club ama an outing, the people who hang out around you, unajaribu kutoroka juu unaona mtu kama anaweza kuibia. Why would you want that as the father of your child? I think Olive and also women, as we're having this discussion, they have to start getting accountable. Na the partners wanna decide to have these kids with. Yes. So zingine wewe tu, why did you have the child?
Yes.
And as much as some of us are pro-choice, we support abortion.
Yes.
Because vitu fanyika, family planning fails. Unajipata uko pregnant. Yes. But there was a reason why ulikuwa unatumia family planning. It means hauko unataka mtoto.
True, I hadn't thought of that, yeah.
Then why sasa nye imefail, umeamua kukeep that pregnancy based on what?
True.
Someone says they love you, you're in a relationship for 3 months. Mbona family planning venye imefail umeamua kukeep that pregnancy? Number 2. Like campus students, I think the parties are a lot. They sleep with multiple people, and then they don't have the finances to minus the pregnancy. So again, that is a reason to keep a child. The only warrant I feel like ni ile ya sex abuse. Yo, me atasta kujudge, we tu amua, and I would want you to decide to minus it, but we amua, but also finances are in play here. That's why I'm saying I don't understand some of the reasons some people have decided to have children.
Yes.
Mtu asema, me I just became pregnant, sikuwa na doo ya kutoa, and then tuko tumemove in a boyfriend, and then sijui nilikuwa nimefukuzwa home, and then pesa, and then
I don't think, maybe vile umesema we should talk about advantages of being child free, so that people can see what you'd have if you didn't have the child. Because I think right now people don't think about what a child means.
Yeah, I don't think people know what a child means.
Ulikuwa na family planning ikafail. Inamaanisha ulikuwa unajikinga.
Uko unataka, uko prepared.
Yes.
Then why would you keep it?
True, I had never thought about that, but it's very reasonable. And then this idea of
and another point as you continue, kuna wenye they are playing akaka games ka pull and pray. Ama alimwaganani. And if you know that you don't have an already active family planning, why are you not going for the emergency pill? Like, what did you expect? That you are safe?
Yeah.
Do you believe in those safety measures to avoid pregnancy?
I've had people say, but mimi kama hapo kwa gambler mtanitoa.
I don't gamble.
I don't gamble.
You're not gambling with my eggs.
We have those people who used to have sex with a condom and then take the e-pill the next day. I don't care. Double down. When I say I don't want Thomas.
When any doubting Thomas. Yani here bro.
Si hata condom imeandikwa 99%. Yo 1% ikwe mimi. My friend.
Let's go back to the advantages and why people have kids.
So, do I remember even where we were?
Yeah, advantages. Like if you look, you compare how child-free and childless people are living at 31 and how you are living because you decided to have a child.
Okay. Sasa nimekumbuka. What I was saying is, like you see those campus people who family planning imefail, aka decide to have mtoto. They haven't thought about the having a child. You know what I usually say? That people, when you have a child, people don't consider that you're responsible for someone who will be operating in the society later on. You're responsible for their mental health. You're responsible for them just living, like being healthy physically.
Yeah.
You're responsible for this person for 18 plus years. Mtoto wako pia kifika 18, it's not given that they leave the house and leave you alone. So this is a lifetime commitment.
Kuna 40s bado wanaishi kwa mama na baba yao.
Imagine upate mtoto wako si ati 18 peke yake. And even if we're looking at 18 as, let's say, basi the maximum number that you'll take care of this person. 18 years is a long time, Lydia.
It's a long time.
It's a long time to have committed to something
that you are not ready for.
Zenye unaweka kwa investment. Imagine 18 years utakuwa na pesa ngapi kama umenunua treasury bonds. Think about it.
Me, I'm thinking kama like 10 years ago ningejua the things I know right now and I saved my money instead of using it on men. Mungu wangu ningekuwa milioni. Singekuwa hapa nikifanya hii podcast kwa sababu I would have the money to travel and be
ungefanya destination podcast. You go and do
travel because I love sharing.
Yeah.
Gosh. 18 years is a long time.
18 years is a long commitment and people don't realize we are not committed to anything. And then me, I always say, if there's one thing I'm so passionate about affording, why I even work hard, is convenience. Lydia, mimi kuna days nimeamka nikabook SGR. Nikajisikia tu leo najisikia
kulala
na Kashata. Natamani Kashata na Nairobi they don't make it. Nitaenda. The freedom is crazy. I really love affording, what is it called? Convenience.
Yeah.
And then maybe sasa yo na ujaluo. Nachukia kufungwa chini na like now I can't leave a particular situation. I can't walk away or I usually want my freedom in its fullest. Juu sasa uwezi niambia I need to go out, but first wait, you can't go out, you need to take care of this thing. And I think that is something yenye sisi child free pia huwa tunapigwa sana, because people tell me, and this is something that I've even heard from older men and lecturing us. They tell you need to have something
for the
to ground
they don't
you.
Own.
Yeah.
Get
in fact,
one
there's
first.
no man who owns any womb. But they'll tell you need to have something to ground you. And to them, grounding means a child or a marriage.
Isn't myself enough a thing that grounds?
Hii idea ya kuishi tu kama ndege, people are not okay with it.
But I think the society and in patriarchy, it hates to see a free woman.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
Wouldn't you hate?
Na mimi maybe niko in prison of parenthood, marriage, bills left, right. Why are you free?
You know, in fact, the day my ex had broken up with me, we had talked, I think, was it 2 weeks later? And I told him I'm headed to, was I headed to Diani or something? And he was like, oh, let me see if I can come. And then he came.
The solo trip that you did?
No. It was, wait, where was I? Yeah, it was a solo trip. I've done so many solo trips. But yes, that was
I remember
as well.
That was the time I started getting you from, following you on social media. And I was like, this bitch, I go cost na mimi niko haba sina pesa. Yeah, the freedom.
Yeah. So there was that freedom, and I told him, oh, nenda Diani nini, and then he was like, oh, let me see if I can come. And then he came back like not even 2 minutes later, and he was like, oh, finances are too tight, like it can't happen. You have a newborn in the house. And I was just like, money. And as much as I haven't unlocked the kind of money that I desire,
you're still living your life.
I still have money enough. I'm not sharing it. You know, on days when just me say I still play those games for, if I have 200 bob, haita nijengea nyumba, haita nunua shamba, naenda kukula chips, please, very fast.
Yeah.
So those are things I don't think you would live. That's a life you didn't live if you had children. And me, I love living free.
Talking of your ex, Olive,
when
alikuwa anataka kufuata to Diani, do you think most men, if not 90%,
99
thank you, 99% are child free lakini hawatakangi hiyo story? They would rather not voice their values and their decisions in life, but wakutane na msichana wamdanganye because mamake anashinda akimsumbua, utaniletea mjukuu lini, utaniletea bibi lini, and then now wapate mtoto. And I guess that is where the trend of watu na date a few months, msichana amekuwa pregnant, within a year mtoto amezaliwa, musha wachana. Do you think most men, number one, are child free, but they fear to voice it, because I've not heard most men voicing the child freeness. Number 2, do you think most men are child free, and that's why eventually after msichana memzalia wana breaking it up na yeye? Because if you really wanted a family, if you really wanted a child, why wouldn't you want to actively participate in your child's life? Kila siku uonange mtoto wako, jioni hata una make it a point to come home early, unafanyisha homework kama unacheza naye, ama unampea kashawa ndio aende alale, unamread bedtime story. Because a man that really wanted a child would want that, right?
Probably my dad wanted children.
But kuna hawa tu within akania. Asha kutoka, wewe ni baby mama, and now the worst part of it, they don't want to take up responsibility ya co-parenting. They start shukuing or suspensing the girl, unataka tu pesa sijui. But ukiwakuta na maboys wake, bro unajua mimi niko na asan, bro unajua mimi nimezaa mama yangu. Do you think men don't talk about being child free enough, and they trap women into getting a child and then later on wanna bail out? But because they just can't speak about it.
Hey, your topic, I think, is a podcast on its own.
It's a whole video on its own.
Because one, men have lived in a very free life. Things were taken care of. Men just had to provide and to protect. That's all. And then children are starters for men. Ndio unasikia huyo mwanaume mwenye hata hajailipa fees, hata hajui mtoto wako shule gani, can dare say in front of people, you know, me I have a son. Unajua there's someone named after my mother. It's starters. The way we were as African traditional, bado hatuja shade off all of it. Having a child as a man sort of elevates your status. Unaona, see, there's a time even you couldn't vie. Akina Salasi are very new to the political scene.
You couldn't vie without a wife and child. Why doesn't the president vie in Kenya? Mbona president hawezi kuwa president bila bibi? Actually, it's a status quo.
It's a status for men. So men can have children for
status. Anyway,
men can have children for status. It just helps improve their story. Plot yao sasa ni poa now that they have children. And then the second thing that I think now this will be a podcast. Men also use pregnancy to humble women. Especially
patriarchy again.
Wewe akina Lydia hivi ati umejiweka vizuri unajiona.
Humble.
Huyo taweka mimba taongea tena tuonekana
TikTok. Mimi najua mchezo wa town brother, utaumia. Kuna masoja huku chini. Unamwaga wana
so I think there's that as well, humbling. And also men are not thinking about it evil. Unaona vile tumesema watu tuulize watu wenye wako na watoto, mbona unataka kuwa na mtoto? Men don't think about it.
And I guess
anamwaga akienda.
And mostly even the question is posed for women. It's not posed to men. Like, mbona unataka girlfriend yako akupe mtoto? Mbona unataka bibi yako azae mtoto wa pili? I think niyo kuhumble. And this brings me to the next question. And I did this video yesterday, weird or funny enough. After history ya Mulamwa and Ruth K, they parted ways, and now Ruth K, few days later amechukua kanyumba, amefurnish. It doesn't even look like a bother to her, right? And then I was like, no, this is like, for me Lydia Wanjiru, that is the kind of women I want us to be. Like, be financially stable or free enough that you can walk out of a relationship, a breakup, if it's not serving you anymore. And unaweza chukua mtoto wako na you don't care if the guy take care of their child or not. You are okay.
Yes.
Because that stems from wewe unazaa mtoto because number one, it's an unexpected pregnancy. Ama you planned for this child, you waited and put measures in place, like you have a job, you have financial freedom to have a child. Because as it is right now, you can't depend on a man to stay throughout the 18 years. Enye munalea mtoto mpaka akwe an adult, akwe declared an adult.
Atarudi akishakuwa Diamond Platinums. anakuanga mtoto wangu
alafu akuangalie hivi wewe ulikuwa wapi mama yangu akiteseka and then you feel bad unatolewa
kufanya media tour
mtoto wako anatolewa mahari imepewanwa kwa mama yake sound kwa TikTok mimi ni baba yako nitakukas you need your father's blessing for you to prosper bro utarudi kwenye ulikuwa
cause if you didn't take care of
you can't curse what you can't bless.
Yes, what you didn't bless you cannot curse.
So the question is, what is it that I feel like as women we don't advocate enough for ourselves, that you should protect and guard your womb as much as you can until kama unataka mtoto please kwenye unaamua you know what leo sijiprotect, leo situmii emergency pill, leo naenda natoa family planning because I want a child. I just want women to have mtoto because wewe mwenyewe as Olive unataka irregardless you have a partner or not because nowadays men cannot again be depended on because ndo mkiachana whatever the consequences zitafanyika with the breakup and co-parenting and financing you are able to take up that role bila stress mingi because you are like mimi ndo nilikuwa nataka hii so nita step up.
Lydia, you said it in your video. It's not necessarily amekuacha akikufa akikufa
uko shule bado campus.
We are not anticipating divorce, but what if he dies?
Death there is a coma, mtu amelala coma for years. There is
what if they get incapacitated? Ameingia accident sahi haezi tembea mahana mikono. What happens to your husband now? Do you have the capacity? And that's something else that I also state. I usually tell people, vile umesema you don't have the capacity to take care of someone. I usually ask Lydia, sai nikizaa mtoto nipate ni mtoto mwenye anahitaji special needs. Do I have it in me
to take up?
Do I genuinely have it in me? Na kama ni hivyo, maybe for their next rest of their life, ni mzigo yako sasa. I'm sorry, this is usually offensive to people of the special needs community. I'm just
but
saying,
it's a necessary question when you're deciding
because,
to having a child.
If you do get a child, do you have the capacity to give your child special attention? Do you have the resources to give them what they need? Let's say even labda tasi ati incapacitation labda ni something physical. Let's say something like your child is on the extreme side of autism. Do you have the resources to take them to get them the school they need, the education, the care they'll need, maybe the nurses, if there's any drugs? Do you have the resources? You yourself, do you have the emotional capacity to handle someone who cannot take care of themselves? Me, I don't have
all of your opening wounds and you're shouting.
I don't have it, and
we don't think about that. We don't think about it that way when we are deciding to keep a pregnancy.
Na nikizaa mtoto mwenye hajiwezi na ni muabandon ama ni I don't take care of them ama ni mchukie, you'll come at me again. Mtanieka kwa news 9 p.m. I don't have the capacity, and I'm telling you, I cannot, therefore I will not.
And the capacity comes from, is this a child you wanted? Did you sit down and decide, I want a child? Because I guess when you sit down and decide that, then however they turn out, it makes it easier for you to say, you know what, they are my child. However Mungu ameamua kunipea akiwa, nitamchukua, nitamlea, nitakuwa there for them. Oh my God. Oh, that is so deep.
And usually even in our adulthood, Lydia, you can see people who are loved at home. You can interact with adults and see adults who are loved. Watoto walitakwa na wazazi wao. You can tell.
Na wamelelewa. Na upendo.
And just I posted the other day asking people, when you went back home, how was it? Like if things got nini and then you had to go back home. And some people actually even said, we have homes, but there are homes you can't go back to. Are you someone who your child can come back to after? Ama we ulizaa alafu unataka wakifika 18 aende na akirudi, now you'll be so frustrated.
Kwanza I think that happens to us millennials. Most of our parents, as millennials, they believe they are so much into church, number one.
Hey, yo.
It's a topic another day.
Even in podcast katano
they don't believe in divorce, separation. Unaenda kuambia mama yako Ruben alinipiga ngumi, alinipiga, unaona amenivunja mkono. You're like, ako like, anapeleka watoto shule, analipa rent, munalala njaa, enda obea bwana wako, mashetani muache. And I feel like church women should stop giving people advice, or women should stop listening to advice to church women, because them it's based on patriarchy. It's what they're used to. We can't blame them. It's what they're used to. It's what they were taught. It's what they surround themselves with. Because unakuta mwanamke ana preach kuvumilia, kuficha uchi wa bwana yako, kuombea bwana yako, kuombea boma yako, shetani. Oh God, I feel like the devil sometimes is so much blamed for what people do. Sasa zingine anashtuka kwa sababu hiyo nilifanya saa ngapi? Hata mimi mwenyewe
shetani mwenyewe alikuwa na ego. Si alileta kiburi huko mbinguni ndiye akafukuzwa.
Mwenyewe alikuwa na why wouldn't you have kiburi? So the way you've said that are people loved enough at home for the parents to accept them back?
Do you think you'll be a parent who will love your child enough for them to do anything and you'll still show up
when
them?
You're deciding to give birth to that child?
Yeah.
Guys,
and you know, a lot of us also have mother wounds. Me, I know I have a lot of mother wounds.
But then you have not mentioned your mom enough.
My mom is also a very good mom. My mother wounds are because my mom is a perfectionist. So unaona vile unasema ati niko na OCD nini. I acquired OCD. Because my mom needed things spick and span.
Unaweza osha nyumba wewe uone ni safi kabisa, anaingia.
My mother takes nothing less of perfection. And so I had to be a perfect child. And that's what I tell people. I was raised to be a good wife. And now I'm a perfect wife. I'm such a good carer. I'd make a bomb-ass mother. I cook, I clean, I do everything. But do I have the, like, will I also be someone like my mom? Will I want my child to be as perfect? And that will also traumatize them. And then they'll also have children who they will also impose their perfection on.
And the trauma goes and on and on. Because when you were in the kitchen and you are cutting the pineapple you have come with, nilikuwa najiuliza, Aki, I'm the host. Can I cut the pineapple for you? And you're like, Lydia, don't worry, I'm good. Yeah. I like doing this for myself. And you know, for me, I really value friendships in your aspect. Like, I need people to understand that I am not a home, I'm not
you're not a
carer,
you're not a home person.
A home person to take care of guests and things. But if you want food, nitapiga simu rider alete. If you want, nitapiga simu ikuje. But ati mimi niende jikoni nipike. Punguza expectations. So for you to say even that, tulia Lydia, show me the knife, kasahani, and I'm good.
And then perfection, Lydia. Me, you should see my house. My house looks like a showroom all the time. Everything is in place.
And for you not to even want that for your child.
I wouldn't want to
That's
impose
so
that on someone. Because hata kwangu watu wakikuja wanaogopa kukaa. Like utaka
achukue glass apanguze meza.
Glass utaweka wapi na hakuna hata vyombo kwa sink. So I can imagine someone living in that kind of anxiety for their whole lives. It's crazy. Na mimi pia sitaki mtu amove vitu zangu. Umepata nguo zangu zimepangwa unataka kusongesha. I would love to go back to my house the way I found it. So let everyone stay where they're staying. You in my ovaries, me I stay at the house I pay rent for.
Olive, as we are concluding, tunaweza the whole day.
Yes.
I want to know. I want you to talk to someone below their 25 years, below 25 and below, that are in a relationship, not yet pregnant, but also they're torn in between. They want to settle with a guy or not, and maybe they're not using protection in terms of getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And also they have moved in with a guy. I want to talk to that 25-year-old. Hajashikwa na mimba, ama hajashikwa na mimba bado, ama use protection, so chances are anaweza shika mimba anytime, and they are living with a guy. She could be in campus, she could be newly out of campus, anafanya kazi ka 10k, 15k, 20k, And also I want you to talk to those women who have children but they judge us who don't have children. And because I feel like it's those women that really fight us to have a child. And sometimes as most of those women who have children, they give us so much. They're like, mimi niko na watoto, lakini I would always support those. Me no nangezo comments. I'm like, babe, this is so much. Like any girls, you're just being a girl's girl because you are in that shoe. You understand how tight it is that you don't want to see someone else in that shoe.
And I feel like those women are usually they actually love their children. The ones who tell you children are a lot. They usually love their children. Like they show up for their children better than the ones who are very bitter about child-free women.
And those of mwanamke ni kuzaa.
Yeah.
True.
Ukirudi back home, they're not even taking care of the children they want everyone to have.
These ones, others, they understand they made a mistake mahali kahesabu kali kosea mahali, but they also love their kid. But they also don't want any other person to be in that position, right?
And it tells you that I want to show up for my kid, and I'm telling you how much it takes for me to show up for my children. And I'm just telling you, in case you don't have that capacity, ka ukijua. So that's someone who's working hard to show up for their children. That's why they know how hard it is.
It takes so much to show up for this kid. If you don't want and you're not sure you want this kid, kahivo. So talk to the 25-year and below.
Aki 25. Nisikize, tunajua ni ngumu kusikia. Lakini nisikize tu.
In love. Why is it ambilika?
You know, I get confessions from very young girls. I get confessions from 22 uko watu wako campus. First of all, just check out for your boyfriend. If your boyfriend is not as determined to not get you pregnant, that's a good man.
Yeah.
At least he has dreams he's working towards. Because I promise you, a man who has a dream he wants to achieve will not let anything come between him and it. So, ukiona akona psych sana na watoto, and we know the battles that you have to fight when you have children. Are you happy running in children's court? Kila siku unapigiwa simu, tuma that, you're so stressed. Boys and men who know I don't want distraction when I'm chasing my dream, that's a good man to have.
Yeah.
There's something they're working towards. But if your man is just nonchalant, ye pia hajali, you're also having sex, ye pia hajali if you'll fall pregnant or not.
Kama ukota na family planning.
We can take something to kinga ourselves. That's not someone you want to gamble life with.
No.
So at the end of the day, and also I'll tell you, if you are below 30, see at 25, there's time. Literally juzi nimeona mama TikTok mwenye aliza at 48. She was like, I got to 48 is when I wanted to have a child. So I got a child. For her, she was still fertile actually at the time. So for some of us, also look at your family lineage. For some of us, we'll get to menopause earlier. For some of us, we'll still be fertile way into our 50s. So you can always, there's always time. Hakuna kitu unakimbisha. There's always time. Feel free to open up your mind. I know the idea, you said we are pro-choice. The idea of abortion is very easy to talk about when you're open-minded.
Yeah.
But let's say you are set in the church or something, because I've talked to a couple of girls who are like, when I got pregnant, I knew I didn't want a child, but I also could not compute abortion, knowing that vile nimelelewa, my values, my all that. And I usually tell people, even if I was to advise you to get an abortion, if I knew it will kill you mentally, if at night you'll be haunted by the voices of children, I wouldn't advise it for you. So at the end of the day, also make peace with being so open-minded that you're open to the alternatives for children.
Yeah.
What if I can't have children later on in life? Then I can adopt. Then I can get a surrogate. Then I can do this. And even later on in life, I promise you, you get more money as you grow older.
Yeah, you do.
I promise
to afford ways that you can get these things that look
money.
impossible.
And if you don't have distractions, that money will afford you and your children the life you want. So wait, it's early. It's early. I can't stress enough.
I think it's the society that inekanga timeline to it.
Yeah.
Because unakutanga mtu tu umesema ka kitu in the line of this discussion, anakuambia, we umezeeka olewa. I'm like, so umezeeka za.
Yeah.
I'm like, so mtu akizaa hazeeki.
Like, true.
like age, you stop aging.
Yeah.
Cause what is that aspects? Ama tu ni kama tusikenye kana base.
Generally, I for men, I think maybe men just don't think. Generally, they just don't think. Because how Rama went on a podcast and said he doesn't date single mothers when
And
he's left his own baby mama. Jamani, ni akili, ni mathematics. Where
no, actually
did the society go wrong? You just don't think.
And that's why I'm thinking, Olive, most men, unaona hiyo time ati mimi nitakampea mimba ni muhumble. I think most men are like Rama. They're just out and about to humble women by making them parents. Maybe. And then they bail out.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad also women are coming out of cocoon. Yeah, I can be a single mom and live my life as well as I take care of my child. Cause how many single parents unaona mtu amelea mtu amempeleka mpaka ma university huko US and you're like, hiya.
Yeah. And then also single moms have to be careful now because now they are new targets. Because single moms have a good home, they're already running a perfect home. So hata si benten siku hizi ni tubaba tu tuko 40 years old amelala kwa couch ya
actually nilibeba like a few weeks ago na a woman Uber driver.
Yeah.
And she's 50, I'll remember 56, and she have 2 kids, 2 daughters. And then she met this guy, he's also married, and within like a month or 2 alikuwa amekopesha mtu 260k. When she thinks about it, yeah, actually we have. When she thinks about it, that she's like, I don't know, like what this guy really. I don't know how the guy convinced her. Akona pesa cause alikuwa anajenga nyumba yenye wanaishi, but they had said anajenga chini kwanza, jikoni, 2 bedrooms na sitting room, and then ilikuwa ikuwe na gorofa. Yeah. So money yenye alikuwa amepangia kwanza, acha tujenge to move in, tukwe comfortable, tuko na living room, jikoni, bedroom ya wasichana na yangu. So when this guy alikopa do na katoroka, and this guy was driving a Prado. I don't know, like kuna mbongo ukiona wanaume wengi wako na gari hawana pesa. Don't mistake or confuse that a man who has a car has money.
Yeah.
This guy was driving a Prado. And funny enough, akaambia ati mtu ati unajua niko na mpango wa kwanza kuendelea na mjengo ya first floor. Ati within a few days huyo mtu alikam kwa gate kutafuta huyo mama. So again he got the hinge, umama tena kona do.
Yeah.
Amepata do ingine.
Yeah.
So the way you've said single moms are very targets in terms of finances and even pedophiles.
Oh yeah.
And even pedophiles. It's a topic on its own. But unaweza kuta mtu anakupenda, anapenda mtoto wako, mnachezanga mkienda out akuja kwa nyumba, ako very active, but you really don't know what they're aiming.
Yeah.
And I really hate that men are doing this to women. It's wrong.
Vile tu ulisema Lydia, viciously guard your womb.
Guard your womb. Be
guard your
selfish.
Space. If you have children already, guard those children with all you have. Tutajibamba, watoto wako watafika 18, nitakuja kukuchukua twende sherehe. Don't worry. But for now, just like work to take care of them.
And I just wish that women would stop giving birth too much just because you're in love. Like, can we also have an aspect that for me to bring forth life, it's a matter of life and death. Wanawake wangapi wanakufa every other minute sahi as we speak, because they're giving birth.
Yeah.
And how for you to put yourself in that line, you could risk your life to that much for who?
And
for
then
what?
Maybe
for what reasons?
You're giving birth for someone who might not even take care of the child after you die from this childbirth that they put you through. Mtoto wako bado atateseka, mtoto umeacha at birth. So at the end of the day, you have to, like, women, just raise your standards. And I think even my friends right now, there's my friends who are childless because they're not sure whether they'll be child-free. And they usually say, they're saying, I will not allow someone to make a baby mama out of me.
Oh, amen to that, all
make
women.
Make a divorcee out of me, make a widow out of me. You will not make a baby mama out of me. You can't
undo a child. You can undo a marriage, a relationship.
Yes.
You can heal from a heartbreak. How do you undo a child?
I feel like even Kibanja has more credits for living after a marriage. Ati someone just came, gave you mimba and then disappeared. They just made you a baby mama. That's what Offset told Cardi B. I won. I made you a baby mama.
I wonder
simple as that.
Any mwanaume like it sounds so evil. But also the women who, again, history ya Mulamwa, and I'm sorry guys, and Ruth. I just wished that Ruth, if it's true, because some people are saying nika showbiz, ni cloud move, Ruth had to move because alipata job ya teacher. But how many Ruths are there in our lives that we know? That unazalia mtu na kona baby mama wawili watatu. What makes you think you're so special that this guy will finally change and now start behaving like a responsible dad, being present and everything? Like, can we stop being delulu? Okay, kuna vitu zingine za kukua delulu, like manifesting. But kwa wumbe yako na mtoto, what makes you think umse ata change? Wabu unadhani wanawake wengine ni wajinga?
Mimi nakwambia Lydia, after seeing these stories naamini uchawi, because I can't explain it.
And also, do you think, Olive, I also pointed something out of that video that I did. Do you think some content creators get into relationships as showbiz and get these kids for more content creators and attracting brands? And do you think some content creators do that? Because why is it so many content creators wanaachana after mtoto amezaliwa?
I won't attach it to the content creators we've seen right now, but I genuinely believe there are people who can do that. I genuinely believe kuna mtu anaweza zaa for showbiz. I believe it. Because even if you look at Kim Kardashian's mom, uya mama aliza for alijua
I don't know her
I must
story.
make money. No, like I'm just saying the ambition she had. I'm going to make money through my children. So I do believe humans
so
have the capacity to use children to make money. Yes, I know. But sijui kama it could be what our influencers here are doing, but I can't put it past people. Yes, people will even give birth just for
it's one thing for us to do couple goals content, attract brands, but bringing forth a whole child, bado mkiwa kwa hiyo showbiz.
Crazy.
But I feel like women are the ones who, as we wrap up, I feel like women are the most losers in these situations.
Always.
Because wewe bado ndo utabaki na mtoto, number one. Number two, a man is just, siju wanaume wanakuwa na roho gani, Olive? They're always ready to bail out of responsibility. Like mwanamke amekutext, mtoto hana diaper ama hakuna food ama hakuna Cerelac ama amefukuzwa mtoto amefukuzwa shule, and these are the men we go out with kwa club and they're making it rain, wanaoda madoreme and you're like, conscience yako iko wapi? Hii pesa unaona doreme ndio tu ungetuma half of it ingelipa ile school fees unaitishwa.
But that's why we tell women, choose yourself the way men choose themselves.
Have the audacity to choose yourself.
Choose them. A man sahi aseme ati amepata job Mombasa na anafaa kuacha hapa. Atenda Mombasa, dem ndio bado atasema, let me think about it nini. The way a man thinks.
Dem actually ataacha kazi yake juu chali yake ali move to Mombasa. So ataacha kazi yake ya Nairobi a move to Mombasa. Juu chali yake amwambia, this long distance thing, I can do it. Nita cheat, and then you don't want your man. Guy, mimi ndakupiga. Mimi go rafiki yangu ndakupiga. Why would you even do that? Men will always choose themselves. A man will walk out.
Bad.
It's not bad. Actually, we think it's bad.
It's not bad.
But it's not. Kwa sababu kuna mwanaume atakwambia mimi sitaki mtoto. Mimi nataka tu relationship. But because you're so much in love with this man, you would think, mtoto atafanya think twice about familia na kunioa. My friend, wewe mtoto wako mutashindanga mkilia.
Choose yourself.
So as we come to conclusion, Olive, can we talk to our parents who can't accept or haven't come to terms with that some of us have chosen to be child-free? Not childless, child-free. Parents, grandparents, siblings, and even the society at large. What would you like them to tell them?
To the older generation, our parents, mi hata wazazi wangu wenyewe sijawaambia, so there's nothing to tell you, I beg.
They don't still ask?
Even if they, right now, Lydia, I'm not explaining myself to people.
You're too old.
Sasa mtu akiniambianga me I have unaonanga vile if you are to reply to a text, if you are to decline a call kuna quick responses. Me I have
I mean a meeting I'll call you later.
Those ones I have. Mungu akileta God's timing hizo nakuanga nazo mingi.
Because why is it a difficult conversation?
I said I'll not explain myself because Lydia, they'll never see your perspective from where you are standing. They are hell bent on misunderstanding you. And there's no point of explaining yourself. Me, I don't explain to people. Hautachukua mtoto unifinyie kwa tumbo ingie. So at the end of the day, I'm not explaining it to my parents. I'm not explaining it to the society. I am living my life. Now, I have mentioned this. I know it will get to a point where we'll start seeing violence towards child-free women.
Yeah, and I see it coming. Why?
Yes, I'm scared about it, but we'll see how we'll deal with that then. But for now, I can just live boldly and I don't need to explain my decision to someone if they want to misunderstand me. Kama unauliza tu juu unataka kujua mbona, sawa. But if you want to understand why you are being selfish, I won't explain. Nitakwambia senye Mungu ataleta na alete na hiyo sahani yake ya sauti soul. Thanks.
Sahani yenye iko empty wende utajaza. You know, I hear older women say that mtu anakujenga na sahani yake empty. Wewe ndio unaijaza. Sahani yes because lazima akule. Yes kuja ikiwa full. Ndio kuja ikiwa full atakula siku moja na iishe. But I really, for me, my take home is can more men come out and just say when you're starting a relationship with them that I don't want a child. I'm child free. I don't want that responsibility. I don't want to step up like that. So that we can align in values. If I want to have a child, I want to get married and have a child, just say it. Nitasema, you don't want to get married, don't have a child, then it's okay, we can be friends. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like men lie, but this is what they don't want. Kuna time ingine nilionanga a Twitter or now X, inaitwa nini? A thread.
Yeah.
And men were complaining about how much they hate wanawake wakikujanga weekend kwa nyumba zao and they have to stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday until Monday morning. They just want one night. Like they hate, and then they hate when you leave your things. But I think as women, again, I think it's time we get accountable and responsible and come to our senses that hii story ya kumark territory ni mambo ya zamani. Like mwanamke mwingine tu atakuta ka t-shirt kako hapo na avae na ana shughuli. You see these trends on TikTok ati ulikuta toothbrush akabrushia kwa choo umekuja umebrush nayo infection. Sijui alikuta heels akabeba. Sijui alikuta wig akabeba. Yeye anajua anakuja ana have a baby girl weekend. Utakuja ufue manguo.
Yeah.
Can we stop being delulu and also align with people that aligns with our values?
Come on, be ambitious, Lydia.
Ambitious.
You see, when a man puts his target, hivi macho kwa target, hasongi. And you know when men, I used to think it's just something people say until I've seen it with my friends, like my actual friends right now. Men would say random things like, me at 35, I want to get married and have a child.
And
or I want
will.
to do. Atagonga 35 hivi Lydia kama mtu amebeba mimba yake. So as women also just take that, be ambitious and know me, I'm only going to have a child when I want to have a child. Vile tu umesema. It doesn't matter whether your man says he wants to have a child or not, he's ready, he's an available dad. Do you? Because a man will only do that when he wants to.
Yeah.
Yeye hata kuwa swayed in any other way.
And the final thing, kuwa na pesa yako. Your money gives you freedom. The reason why me and Oliver are here speaking like this, it's because we pay our own bills.
Hata WhatsApp text hatuja reply.
And we all know one an explanation. Mbona huja reply messages zangu? I was busy getting money. Can you give me that money so that I'm able to timely reply to you? That financial freedom comes with the audacity for you to be ambitious.
Yes.
Because you will not tolerate less of what you believe in. Utakuwa already with the red flag unatoka. And I feel like the more women step up and keep and put this conditions in place where mimi sikuzali kama ojanioa officially, mimi sikuzali kama sina biashara ama a stable income. I feel like that is the only way men will step up, either to be a dad and a husband to you, or to tell you they are not into marriage and having kids, because they will continue playing with us, because as women we allow them. Mulamwa will continue making women, as many women, single mothers, because women allow him to. If
and
you
we
go
are
into
seeing Diamond Platinums, we are seeing Nick Cannon, we are seeing
so many
Two-Face.
So many men.
It's crazy.
So many men. Just have your financial freedom. It allows you to wake up one morning and make a decision, because ukiachwa na watoto utalea, you're okay.
And it's financial freedom allows you to walk away from disrespect.
Oh my God, yeah.
You can take an Uber and leave a restaurant when someone says something off.
Take an Uber
na kama
and leave
ulikuwa
a restaurant.
unangoja yeye ndiye akulipie.
Utakaa hapo usiku mzima ukimsikiza. Na probably bado hata lipa hiyo Uber, cause amekuongelesha hii ujinga yote the whole night. So anaona awe shauri, utatembea hadi kwenyu, ni shauri yako.
They call it kiburi, but it's good to afford kiburi.
It's
lovely to afford
affordability.
Kiburi.
Thank you so much, Olive. Do you
Thank
have
you
final remarks regarding the conversation? And also, wait, you can also be child-free and want to get married. Are you open to that?
Yes, I love the idea of marriage, but tukae kwa nyumba zetu separate, please.
Maybe one house, 2 bedrooms. Kila mtu akona bedroom
yake. 2
yake.
wings. Let them be 2 different houses. 2 wings. Let everyone keep their space. I've seen love it. Can we just date forever? Can we just date? Be in the dating scene forever. Tusiingie kwa nyumba za, because if we start sharing houses, then we get into the conversation, who will be the breadwinner, who will do household work. It's a lot.
Nani analipa school fees, nani analipa rent.
The way you usually manage me, I manage mine the way I usually manage.
The day we want to date,
exclusively.
We date.
People know these two are a thing.
Yeah.
Me, that's what I want. I sort of like gave up on marriage because my idea of marriage, I haven't seen anyone embracing it. But if I ever meet someone who's open to it, I'm happy to be in an exclusive relationship where we're not having children and everyone keeps their space and remains independent.
For me, because of where I am and the kind of wealth I'm building, we thank the Lord. Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't put it down on a paper.
Same. I would never do a
marriage
wedding.
Certificate.
Especially now that I'm not having children.
I can do a ceremony.
Yes, thank you.
But Mrs. Omolo. Why did I say Omolo?
Who's Omolo?
God free me from the shackles of Luo men. Anyway. Karibu sema tena Mrs. Wafula. Unajua siku hizi niko into tena Luya men. Gosh, I'm so messed up in terms of giving out. Anyway, I will never put it down on paper. Ati mimi ni Mrs. Wafula.
I don't also see why you should need to involve the government.
Because
just
I feel like
with your person.
Kuna wealth fulani nina build. Mimi sitaki kashamba kangu kaende. Because these men are lazy. And these men, ako kashamba kumbe ameandikia mtoto wa side chick wake. When you think ati mtu kidivorce nitachona kashamba. Utalia. Me, I just want us to date. The way you've said, date while in a relationship, but no marriage.
That is mine personally. I have seen couples that are together, married, and don't have children. They're both child-free. It works. Me,
the paper part, I'm 70% loading into child-free.
Yes.
And I am 100% decided that I don't want to officially mapepa get married. Mimi juzi kuna tu mingine nilikuwa nasoma expenses za divorce. It's not expensive to file for divorce.
Kukuacha tu.
Yani kukuacha mbona ina cost like 300k. You ni pesa neza na Dubai.
You are paying for your stupidity. You are paying for getting into this commitment.
Watcha to date too. Yeah. And at this age and where I am mentally, emotionally, financially, socially, if I ever want to get a child, and if anyone ever see me pregnant, just know that I chose to have that baby. I sat down with myself and analyzed my options and my lifestyle yangu. Nikona huyu mtoto nikona capability ya kumulea.
Yes.
It's not about a man. It's about me na huyo mtoto. Mwanaume tataka kuwa hapo ndani, no problem, sina shida. Siku moja ataamua kukanyanga nje, nitakuwa heartbroken, disappointed a bit, but nothing will change in this child's life in terms of responsibility, kuprovidiwa, shule, kukula poa. And with that, can we please advocate for women to be free of making decisions about your future based on what a man has told you anakupenda. Kwanza hey, Olive tumesahau. Kwanza usiwahi amua kwa mwanaume kwa sababu ati I love him. Unaona love, the fact that you love someone, it's number 17 20 reasons of why you should get married. You quarter top 10 kwa reasons why you would want to settle down with someone. And also, please work for your money. Money is good. Wanasemanga money is the root of all evils, but just have it.
Why do you think it's the root?
It is the root of all evils because you have the freedom to choose what to participate in. So, zingine vitu vingine kuenda Dubai kushake nini ndani ya yacht, it looks evil to some people. But it is your evil that you are paying for. So have financial freedom, take your time. Wacha nikwambie hiyo umbi yako kama ilikuwa itoe mtoto, it is going nowhere. Itatoa mtoto
ndiye atakulinda baadaye. Watu say the people are languishing at home, parents who their kids have not visited. Kids, it's not given, it's kids are a gamble.
Kwanza the parents that wanazanga watoto in the name of huyu mtoto atanichunga nikiwa mzee. Have you seen us here in Nairobi? Tunakujanga December siku ngapi? Siku mbili.
Shopping ya 5K unatoka na viazi, ndizi.
Buti imejaa hivi. So please don't give usizae mtoto atakuchunga. Tutakupeleka nursing home. Hey. So we can afford even nursing homes.
I can afford a nurse for my mom at home.
Tutampeleka huko akidhani wewe ndo. Because assuming after you are married, you have your kids, you have your husband ama a wife to take care of. So how am I going to take care of my mom, ama my dad, ama both? Because waliniza I take care of them.
And it actually even falls on everyone else. It's not only you. We've seen that when we this thing of taking care of, it even falls on your husband. You've seen husbands who are budgeting na kuna pesa yenye inaenda kwa nyumba ya in-laws. It's a lot. That's an extra expenditure on your budget for a family that is not yours.
It's not yours.
It's crazy.
And people, as they grow up, we get priorities. Like, priority yangu sa ini inconvenience. I want to crave pizza and order for pizza na inifike. I want, like, for me, I stopped using matatu when tuliingia 2025. I told God, naenda driving school, nilimaliza actually in January. Na niliambia Mungu, mimi siingi matatu tena. From 2025 onwards singi matatu. Naenda kila mahali, naenda na Uber. Kama ni Uber ya 180 sawa. Kama ni Uber ya 1500 sawa. I am not using matatu. So inakupea yo freedom ya kuchoose how you want to live your life. And let me tell you ladies, freedom ni mzuri. Usidanganywe na mama yako na society na huyo mtu anasema anakupenda. Freedom is good. It allows you to make decision based on how you want your life to be and to look like. And number 2, please guard your womb. Take care of your womb. Never allow someone to dictate something they don't have. A womb. Ukiamua hii womb yako unataka kuzaa. Ukiamua hutaki kuzaa, wachana nayo. Hakuna reward.
If you want to rent it out.
Actually, people earn millions to use their wombs. Watu wanyaona watoto wanatafuta watu wa kuwazalia. So there's so much you can do for yourself, with your body that does not regard what is not based on what mwanaume amekuambia umfanyie. And with that, guys, we come to the end of the conversation. Please, usisahau kuacha ka comment hapo chini. Could be a comment, a question, a suggestion maybe some if you want Olive back again to get naked with Lydia akuje and we share more knowledge, because I feel like Olive is someone that I reason a lot with. Kwanza kuna conversation ya Luo, because Olive is one person who calls her brothers out and I'm like, Olive ni mjaluo, nini unaongelea kuhusu Luo men? By the way, we will come and talk about, because people think I'm onto Luo men's neck, but your brothers Olive ni wabaya. Wao na Nigerians.
No, tabia tu ni ile. I think I usually say Luo men move with bravado. That's why they are so attractive. You know, they don't feature things. They'll come and tell you, Lydia, I want you. You tell them, but you're married. What has my marriage got to do with you? And that shit is attractive.
It is.
Someone who has bravado like audacity. That. Like, marriage yangu inakuhusu nini? Ni wewe naongelesha. I can see how it's attractive.
Guys.
Let me ask. You guys are talking about women, but there are no men who want to defend themselves, because you're generalizing with men.
It's a problem.
Out of 10 men, how you guys are talking about, only an average of 4 are for evil. But 6 people are really good people. They even people with kids, but they want to take care of their kids. They just want peace between me and our wife. And they will always be there for their kids. They even men who are so intentional with ladies, and they even men who are ready to show love from now till hawataki mkatiano ya sai. They want to move forward. The other thing that we never talked about is what is even the Bible saying about who marry and even having kids and all that kind of a thing. Oliver said yeah, that kuchukua nini Mombasa, no pressure,
kukula mabuyu.
And that's the freedom. But for how long? We were not created to be that way. You know,
to be how to have freedom.
No, not freedom. We were created to
have structure.
You know, that freedom is only for a small period of time. Then again, there's a phase and another season in life, and you have now to use that womb that you are given to get to total. Remember, at times things come as a blessing. When you are stuck into freedom, then your season ya freedom ishaisha and you're forcing yourself to be that freedom. There's a blessing and you unajifungia. Lydia when you unasema utaki kwa ipanda gari, maybe the blessing will come through chali yako kukam and you guys kuishi tu pamoja, not through love, but just bringing the biblical way of kuishi pamoja and let's grow life together. You know, there's something that comes. You might have separated na mkona mtoi, but that mtoi will bring so much blessing to you individuals. When you get. So, as much as you're talking like feminists, it's okay. On the other end,
yeah.
Remember, if you had a guy in this bench and talk on a man's perspective, it could be different.
Let me go first. Number 1, I hope to get a man who is open-minded, that tunaweza fanya hii conversation na yeye na akwe very open-minded to have this conversation. That's number 1. So it's not closed up to, it's only a women's conversation. Number 2, what I came to conclude that mtoto ni baraka enye iko allocated to specific individuals. Why do God allow some women to conceive and others not to? It's not everyone's blessing to have a child. There are people who have made an impact kwa hii dunia. They have made a change. They continue to be remembered through what they did. And if you look at their history, they were never biologically mothers or fathers. So let's generalize kwanza. Wakuwa na mtoto wao ati aliacha mtoto. They made a change due to their opinion, their presence in the world. A child being a blessing, it's a blessing to you, Ruben, because you want a child. Doesn't mean because I don't have that blessing or I don't want that blessing, I'm lesser, I'm missing out on something. Because for you to even sustain that blessing, lazima ukwe you are mentally, emotionally, financially, physically ready to maintain that blessing. Jua zingine unakuta mwanamke alikuwa anataka mtoto sana, and I know there are women who regret having kids. They're like, I get DMs, Lydia, napenda mtoto wangu, I would die for my child. But if I'm taken back time, I would have waited, ama I would have chosen a different father for my child. We are talking, I know you're calling us feminists, we are talking, we are women, so we are talking from our what we know and what we experience and who we are. Ndo maana tuongelele mambo ya wanaume sana, because we don't know, and that's why I've said I would want to have a male figure in this sitting, and we continue with this conversation. And this, and also nimauliza Olive, and me, I'm 70% loading into Childfree. Olive is 100% Childfree, and nikamuuliza what happens in future when you want a child. Ukasema only what doesn't? Only a fool?
Only a fool doesn't change their mind.
And you can have a child through so many ways. Surrogacy. If you have money, adopt. So I said it's a close-ended conversation, ama a decision. You take it a day at a time, a month at a time, a year at a time. Ukifika Olive, uko 32. Ukifika 40 and you want a child, the fact that you're open-minded, you will have options to have this child.
Yeah.
So si ati kuna close-mindedness ni sahi today 30th of April, Olive doesn't want a child. True or false? Tomorrow, 1st of May, Olive might want a child.
Yeah.
We are not fools to think that your decision iko made, hakuna kunini, ku turn back time. Olive, go.
Now, one thing you said is that in every 10 men, there's 4 men who are, the 6 men who I guess are showing up, right? I can't work with your statistics because I'm working with what is around me. As I'm seated right here, 10 of my friends, 5 of them are moms, and 5 of them have deadbeat children who have deadbeat dads. So that's the statistic I'm working with. The women in my life. I'm seated here with Lydia mwenye ameonyeshwa character development juzi. Mimi mwenyewe ndio niingie kwa hii maisha nilionyeshwa character development. So at the end of the day, we can sit down and say statistics, 6 men in every 10 men are available. But kwenye nimeka, people
an individual
am with in my
analysis.
house every day. Yes. I don't see this men you're talking about. And then the other thing you've also talked about is we could be blocking a blessing. I feel like this idea of anticipating a blessing is something that I cannot picture because
it's
I don't.
It's just an idea.
Yeah. And I'm also not a believer. So I don't work with things that I can't see. And for me, I can say kuna mtu mwenye sahi ameamua anakunywa pombe tu vile anataka, and there are people who become alcoholics for their whole life. We don't sit here and ask them you'll be an alcoholic for how long? But then you see me, you're asking me my freedom for how long? My freedom for as long as it will be. If I die in this space, if I die miserable, that's the gamble I've chosen to take. I've chosen that maybe I might get to a point where I will regret this decision and I will be miserable. That's the gamble I've decided. I've decided that's my lot in life. Let me take that and get to that point and be miserable.
As opposed to
to fumbling what I already have right now. Yeah.
Ruben, you okay? We will get a male. I will try my best to get a male suitable for this conversation. Because again, mi najua kuna wanaume hawataki watoto.
Yeah.
Kuna wanaume hawataki marriage. And also they're of the same opinion. In 40s, 50s years, watacross your bridge wakifika hapo. Kwenye watamua, maybe they missed something. Utacross your bridge ukifika hapo. You can't base your future on an anticipation, as you have said. You have to live now. Na kesho ukidedi.
Yeah.
A road accident, does it mean maybe angekufa kama angekuwa na mtoto?
And I feel like that's playing chess with children, because hao watoto wenye sahi sasa wanateseka, what blessing were they supposed to be
to their parents?
Hata hao parents wenye they are going through so much, they can't show up for their children. Can God explain to me what that child did to deserve that?
Where is the blessing that child was coming with?
What's this story being built, and why is it being built with so much pain?
Yeah.
Plot ni uchungu hivi, mbona I don't get it.
Yeah.
Karibu nikwe Daddy Owen.
Yeah. Guys, please welcome back to Get Naked with Lydia.
Yeah.
We are back. Please subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Ndio saini consistency. Utaonanga tu hapo ka video Get Naked with Lydia wameweka video. So please subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Please, whenever you see the video from this channel, a video from this channel, click like. Need to appreciate, and also leave a comment, a suggestion, a question, an opinion. It's all welcome, it's all open, because these are just conversations. Me and Olive and Ruben, we are talking from our point of view, and I understand that sisi wote tumelelewa places tofauti, tumezaliwa kwa family tofauti, religion tofauti. We know things differently. We can only have them as conversations so that we can see where each one of us is coming from. So it is not closed from our opinion. It's open for discussion. And if you're a man out there and you would want to, please give your insights, knowledge, and wisdom into this conversation, please email me with the email address on your screen. Ama DM me on my Instagram, or WhatsApp the number on your screen. And if you have a story to tell, please also do the same. Contact, and we will continue having these conversations, because as much as the society is so much closed-mindedness, some of us have decided tutaongea, because these conversations need to be had in terms of moving way forward into the future. Olive, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge, and I hope to invite you to come again and again and again, because you're very knowledgeable, you're very wise, and I know tutakupenda. So quickly, maybe farewell, and also tell people where they can find you on your socials.
I can be found at Olive Orao. My name is difficult to spell. That's OLAVEORAWO. I don't know if they'll be put on the screen.
They will.
But yes, Olive Orao on all my socials. My consultancy is by Olive, so it's providing podcast consultancy and psycho support, what you've heard me talk about, emotional intelligence here. And also I have a podcast, the In All Honesty podcast. You can subscribe. We go live every Monday from 7 to 9 a.m. on Instagram Live. So you can catch us, and if you don't catch the episodes, utaipata pale Spotify, Afripods, everywhere else. Yeah, that's me.
And my name is Lydia Wanjiru, the host of Get Naked with Lydia, where we bring conversations that are vulnerable, entertaining, and educative. Until next time, bye.